Well, hello, glorious people of the interwebs, and welcome back to Red Dead Online. It's another Tuesday, and it's another day to be disappointed. Almost as disappointed as this NPC is when she got frozen to the wall to disappear into freaking nothingness. Sweet baby Jesus. Okay. Yep. That NPC logged on today, and she's like, oh, another new hat? I'm out of here. Even the NPCs don't want to hang out in Red Dead Online right now. This is getting a little ridiculous. It is officially the longest Red Dead Redemption 2, or Red Dead Online, has gone without an update. So, we still have 10 more weeks until the end of summer. We're 10 more potential Tuesdays before the end of summer. And the update, honestly, could drop at any time. I was speculating for a while that July 16th would officially be the day we got the summer update. You know, I was, from a business perspective, I didn't think that Rockstar would want to go longer than they've ever gone before without updating Red Dead Online. Clearly, I was wrong. Maybe they're planning for a mid-summer update, which would mean somewhere around August 20th could potentially be the update, so another 5 weeks from now. But right now, things, as much as I love Red Dead Online and have, you know, wanted to see it absolutely succeed, things are not really looking good right now. I still do have high hopes for the future, but this game really is going to struggle if it goes this long without actual content. And we'll get into that in here in just a second, but I will show off what's new today. Obviously, it's another Tuesday, which means it's welcome back to Drip Feed Clothing Simulator, where we get another new hat. Hopefully this hat actually looks good. I don't know.
Says a lot about you.
Yeah, this hat says I don't think this hat says the right thing at all. Yep, not a big fan of this one. It's not terrible. I'm not a big fan of that, whatever that's on the front there. I don't know what's going on with this hat, but it's $96, 4 gold bars. It is what it is. We do have another new pair of chaps, though. I have never used a pair of chaps in this game, and I highly doubt I ever will. But there is another thing to be excited about for people who... This dude needs to shut up. I swear I will explode his face.
What do you think?
You know, these actually aren't half bad. These might be the only chaps that I would use because they don't make you look like a freaking Yeti. So, you know, actually I gotta say I do like these chaps. They might actually make it into an outfit. Alright, so $69, giggity, or 3 gold bars. Now we also have a new spurs. We still haven't gotten the fur gloves back, which are the gloves that I'm wearing. I wish they would bring them back, because they're the best gloves in the game. Bandanas, blah, 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 blah. Spurs, where are you at, homeboys? So the Gurdon Moro spurs, I guess those are new? Yeah. I really haven't changed out my spurs from like the beginning of the game. There's really not a lot. Those $45. 2 gold bars for some spurs. Been looking for new spurs. There's better options than that one, so I wouldn't recommend it. Chaps are okay. Let me know what you guys think about the Drip Feed clothing today. But on an upside, those that have been playing Red Dead Online and you don't need a new horse, maybe you just started or something like that, there is a discount on horses today. Looks like we got potential trolls chilling outside of the clothing department. Maybe not. People on update days like to hang outside of the clothing and like the general store to kill people that have just tried on clothes when there's no new updates. Basically, the longer we go without content, the more toxic Red Dead Online becomes. And that, in my opinion, is the real issue. Because, I mean, the game can be enjoyable to play. I do enjoy playing Red Dead Online quite a bit, and I feel like the community can agree that the game is fun, especially when there is new content. But that is the whole issue. On the grand scheme of things, the game has been out for 8 months, and it does not have a lot of content. This is like an alpha Like many alphas that I have played have had more content than what Red Dead Online has, and quite frankly, perform better in some instances as well. And I hate to say that about a game that I absolutely love. Those of you that have been around the channel, you might think that I'm kind of just shitting on Red Dead Online today. And if you haven't watched any of my other stuff, I try and be as... What did your arms just do? I try and give... Basically, I try to be critical and constructive at the same time, because I do love the game, and I do want to be able to, in some way, maybe help make the community better or recommend ideas that could make the game better. Now, also, make sure you guys link your Twitch before the 19th so you can get all of the special benefits here. I have Twitch Prime through Amazon Prime, so I got all of that. There we go. Finally got my stuff in today. But, I mean, it'll definitely help you out. Most people have probably gotten it done already. But on the grand scheme of things, the longer Red Dead Online goes without updates and content, the more people they're going to lose. And I think that's really unfortunate for a game that I think in the long run has a ton of potential. So there's actually a significant sale on all the horses today. I believe there's a sale on saddles as well, so we're going to check that out here in a second. We're going to go through the... Oh, it's not all the horses, it's certain horses. So like the red chestnut is down to $200. So this is really a great option when you first start the game. So if you're planning on starting or you haven't gotten your first upgraded horse in the game, this is pretty much the best horse you can get at the early stages of the game until about, I would say, I think 30s, maybe even later. There's also another really great option which was added, and now Xbox has it as well, which is going to be... Oh, so there's discounts on the Mustangs. Not very good horses in the game. Really not worth it. You don't want to spend $104 on a horse that you're never really going to be able to use, unless, of course, you want a Mustang. So we've got the Dutch Warmblood, Appaloosa, and American Paints all on sale today. Of course, it's none of the good versions, so it looks like they just discounted all of the low-level horses, which I guess is good for new players, but at the end of the day, I mean, most people aren't going to really be concerned about these, and it's not a substantial discount either. But I do want to see if we have a specific one. We've got the Ardennes, the Andalusian. There we go. The Perlino did get a discount. This was free for a long time on the PlayStation, but if you want the Perlino Andalusian, it is discounted down to $380. If you don't want the Chestnut Arabian, this would be the other horse that I recommend getting at a low level. I really don't recommend any of the others, but there is a slew of horses at a discount today, so feel free to peruse them at your leisure. But those are the two horses that I recommend. Hopefully that comes to some sort of help. Those are the three horses that I have right here. So I've got Captain Horseface, Meaty Clackers, and the Andalusian. Now, a lot of people ask me what saddle I use, and I use the Naka Waka Waka saddle, is what I call it, because it gives you an extra speed and acceleration, which none of the other saddles will do for you. And at the end of the day, at a higher tier horse maxed out, any of the other stats really don't matter. They basically don't even work. So it doesn't look like... Oh, you know what it probably is? So there's no saddles on sale. It's probably services. Nope. Horse care packages. Appearance maybe is discounted. It said something in here was discounted, but doesn't really seem to be much of anything. Manage owned horses. Maybe it's just giving us an icon there because you can buy horses through that. I'm not 100% sure. But regardless, those are the options for today for your horses. So we got clothing and horses. There might be a chance they give us a bonus to something else in the game. Sometimes they'll give, like, bonus gold or XP. Last week they didn't give us jack, anything. Try not to swear because, YouTube is really coming down hard on the whole monetization with cursing, especially this past month. It's been a little crazy. But, so let's go ahead and see what else is going on here. Unfortunately, we did not even get a good featured series this week. We have Last Stand again as the featured series, which I'm pretty sure was the featured series like 2 weeks ago. So they seem to be doing featured series for these elimination series every week. I don't know why, because we have an elimination series game mode right now. Give us some other freaking game modes. It's really frustrating. I was hoping for like Overrun would have been great to have back. Arguably one of my favorite game modes. It was a lot of fun. Community loved it. And then the other one is the other new game mode, the Public Enemy, I believe is what it was, right? If I'm mistaken, feel free to spam in the comments below. But I would have loved to see one of those two come back. But unfortunately, we've got Last Stand. So I don't know. I have no idea when the summer update's going to come out. Obviously, Rockstar needs to make sure it's extremely good. So they might be pushing it out because it's just not ready yet. And I don't think that Rockstar would purposefully delay it at this point. I think they know that they need to add a lot of content. I mean, they can see the daily numbers. And definitely pushing it out farther is not a good financial decision in any way, because obviously if there's people playing, people are going to be potentially spending money, although a lot of people have glitched in a ton of money, so maybe they're just not even concerned with making money at this point, and they just want to make it as good as possible. So potentially we could be getting a large update. Who really knows? In my opinion, it definitely needs to be a large update, especially considering how long it's been since we've had the last update. If it ends up being as little content as was available in the spring update, and that's not to say that the spring update wasn't good, because it did bring a lot of good to the game. It made the game significantly more playable. They did a lot of fixes to make it much more enjoyable. Unfortunately, the server side aspects are still absolutely atrocious, and hopefully that's going to be fixed in the summer update, and maybe that's what they're really focusing on before releasing it. And quite frankly, if that's the case, then I'm happy with the delay, but I can't help but feel frustrated because I know the longer we go without an update, the more and more frustrated the entire community is going to be because, you know, at our core, we're impatient, you know? We love a game and we want to be able to play it, but the longer it goes without an update, the more toxic the game becomes, the more trolls that appear, and quite frankly, for the game, it's bad because people that want to join and play are experiencing the worst version of Red Dead Online. You know, the game is great when the players are occupied and they're playing new content and they're not trolling, so the new player experience from now until the summer update will probably turn a lot of people off to the game. And first impressions are huge, so if they log on and they think their entire experience is going to be trolled, you might not ever win those people back, because not only would that be their first experience, but that's what everybody talks about. That is what everybody discusses and says about the game, is that it's a trolling disaster. So right now, with no new content, that is only going to get worse, and that is my main concern. I'm not terribly concerned with having to wait for a DLC. It's the experience that the players currently have in the game, and even if they need to wait for the summer update, if they can do something to either make the servers a little bit better in the meantime, and I know it costs money every single time they do an update to the game, so they try and do a lot of these back-end things to fix it, but if the game needs a smaller update before the summer update, it would probably be worth it to Rockstar to spend that extra money to update the game to make it a little bit better for the players that are trying to get into it now, who might not ever come back because of the negative first impression that they might have of the game. But that's just my 2 cents. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I wish I had better news for you. Obviously, I want this game to succeed. I absolutely love it. But I am honestly a little nervous for the game at the moment. I do think that in the long term, Red Dead Online has an absolute ton of potential, and eventually one day I do think it'll be what everybody wants. But the longer it goes without these updates and actual content in the game, it's not really looking that great in the short term. It's going to be a trolly mess. So either you need to get good at PvP or just maybe take a break from the game, and that's probably what I'm going to be doing. Because as a content creator, the worst thing that you can do as a content creator is get burnt out on a game, because then you won't be able to create good content when it's available. And I want to make sure that I can make the best content that I can. So I do highly recommend, if you're getting a little tired of the game, take a break before you get absolutely burnt out. And the only real way to get Rockstar to maybe focus on, pushing out content a little bit faster, not necessarily too fast because we don't want it to be bad content, but numbers are everything. So if you're not logging in, then you're showing Rockstar that you're, fed up with the current path, and maybe they'll change their perspective on the types of content they're making, or maybe they'll focus on fixing the things that can be fixed in the meantime while waiting for big content updates, like server instability. Yesterday, I couldn't even play the game. I was going to live stream, and I got so fed up with lag issues and stuff like that that I couldn't play the game anymore. I didn't live stream. I didn't do anything. I just had to put my controller down and walk away. And I recommend, if you're getting bored, put the controller down, play a different game. There's a ton of really enjoyable games. If you have a PlayStation, get Spooderman. If you haven't played Spider-Man, great game. And I've got a series on the channel for it, so feel free to check that out. But thank you guys so much for watching. I know I blabbed on here a little bit at the end. I had actually planned on making this shorter, but I wanted to kind of go into a little detail why I'm frustrated today, because I don't want people to think that I'm shitting on the game or that I am incredibly impatient for the summer update. That's not necessarily the case. I do obviously want new content, but at the end of the day, I do want the content to be great. But I am concerned about the current state of Red Dead Online and the first-time experience for new players that might be trying to get into it.